Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, welcome back. So today we're going to look at removing the smog system. So we have this solenoid valve here and the actual canister for the smog inside the frame up here above the header pipe inside this little cavity up here. So I believe we have everything that came. As you can see, here's the top, one of the top. There's no actual holding nut I've seen that holds that on to the frame. It's just sitting in this hole loosely. So we're gonna work on tearing all that apart. I think we have everything to de-smog it. So first things first is we're gonna remove the tank and crack at it. So I believe I already disconnected the fuel line and put the plug that came in your, it's called the wash kit. So you have the cap for this side of the line and then a plug for the other line. So that frees up your fuel line. Just disconnect this and then it attaches obviously here on the top of the tank and then over here on the side of the radiator. Yeah, those two bolts on each side. It should pop right off. So I'll get back at it and come back at you when we have it off. Thanks. All right, so we got the tank off. All right there. All right, our next steps are we're gonna start removing all of this system right here. So all these wires which run up to the canister right here, or I'm sorry, hoses, not wires. We start removing those on both sides here. And then we'll start working on the actual canister itself. Again, we're gonna have to pull that header pipe off. Oh, you gotta kind of see, looks like two 8mm bolts in the springs. And on this side, we'll just have to remove that, it looks like as well. We probably just might have to remove the whole system to be able to drop that header pipe. So, all right, tank came off easy, no problems. Basically just kind of what I showed you earlier, that's it, and you just kind of pull it back and up. But yeah, I'll update you as we go. All right, so again, this little clip sits in there like this. Pull that out, and then you can put in, it came in with all your accessories and whatnot from the dealership. It's basically a dummy plug. Just kind of go in there like that, put that back in there, and we're going to reroute it up here on top of the engine somewhere, tuck it in up there out of the way. Okay, so we got that tucked up in there on the other side, and we pulled this hose that was up, kind of fed up through here on this back side of the radiator, and pulled that out. And now we're gonna go work on the other side and pull this out from the other side up top. And then we gotta unbolt these off the frame hangers, engine hangers. And that should be, I believe that should be it. All right, over here on the right side, so we got that one, that hose pulled off. And that basically was this Y adapter. It's kind of fit in there like that. So that comes off. And then next, the other hose, this bottom hose right here, sorry, this one right here, comes out the back of that solenoid. And that is attached right here on the head. And that's what we're gonna cap off. We're not gonna pull or try to pull this little adapter out. We're just gonna cap that just so we don't break that off, because has been, from what I hear, people trying to remove that and accidentally snapping it off in there. So not gonna try to do that. Just gonna cap it off with our plug that came in our kit right here. There we go. That's done. All right, that's what we're left with. So that's completely, except for the canister, that's all the hosing and solenoid. Just got to put these bolts back in the engine hanger. I got to look up and see what the torque specs are on those before I put them back in. And now we just got to remove the header, probably the full exhaust, remove each one of these nipples that hold this canister. You can kind of see how loose it is. I don't know if I can get in there. It's loose. You can move it just by my hand, so it's gonna rattle around. So, looks like each one of those little nipples just thread out. And then that should just slide out the bottom. Fingers crossed. All right, hangers back, bolts back in. Those are 25 Newton meters from the manual. I got the header pipe kind of pulled up. I didn't undo the lambda sensor, so it's still attached. So I just basically swung it up out of the way. You just got to actually pull that bolt out on your header, where your header and exhaust pipe meet, and then just pull your springs with a spring puller, my handy dandy clothes hanger. Actually, no, this was a hot dog stick, cooker stick that I transformed into a spring puller. So now, again, just take these, undo those on all three spots. The one down there, back in there, is going to be a pain in the butt. But these two up here on either side is going to be easy. So back at it. All right, one thing to note, once you get those adapters out that go screw into the canister right there, the canister slides right out. But what you need to do, it looks like, for the clearance to actually get it to pull out all the way, we need to remove the skid plate there. So FYI, do that before, that should drop right out. All right, there we have it. Out. Everything's back together, except I got to throw the tank on, but I'm debating on even putting that back on. Another known issue, I guess, from the factory, inside the steering stem area, there's media blasting beads left in there, so that could get inside your bearings, your steering stem bearings, and eat away at your bearings. And so that's been I guess, somewhat of a common occurrence on some of these. So I think I'm just going to tear apart this front end just to double check to make sure. And also, I need to check the coolant, and I hear these caps are a pain in the butt to get off, so it's easier to do it when the tank's off. So I think I'm going to call it for now, and then I think the next video will probably be tearing apart the front end. Thanks, appreciate it.